Let's get to Anthony Duclair up next. I was reading an article on NHL.com, and it was not anything crazy in depth. It's kind of just going like each team, like key additions, key departures, like things like that. And then it has like a line on each guy. But something that I thought was a little bit surprising when Anthony Duclair's name was brought up as a key addition, which it is, was the noted power play help. They noted that he could help on the power play. But when looking at his numbers, he's not like this prolific power play goal scorer. So I was confused by that, Mitch.
Yeah, so like career, 38 power play goals in 563 games,
Which obviously power play goals, you're not going to get a lot anyways.
even the best of them score like 10, maybe 20. Right, if you're elite, which we all know Duclair is not elite. There's a reason he signed for $3.5 million. And what is it, 125 power play assists? No, 31. Oh, my God. 31 power play. So you were talking about like a 70 points of production on the power play in 10 years of NHL experience. It's not really a lot. His best season was with Florida, obviously.
Yep.
In 2021, right? Or 21-22?
21-22, 31 goals. 9 of them came on the power play. He also added 12 power play assists. So 21 of his 58 points came on the power play.
That's impressive. And if we can get that from a $3 million player, 3-ish, that would be extra impressive. For me, when I dug down here, I looked at
that season specifically and all of his 9 goals that he'd scored on the power play
to see where he scored them from. Because ultimately I wanted to figure out, okay, well, is he giving us something in terms of where he's scoring his goals that we previously didn't really have? And when you break down his goals of the 9, 5 are really from like the left-hand side. 1 is from the left face-off dot. 3 of them down the middle, more towards the left, and 1 to the left side of the net. And then another 4 are on the right side. 2 from the face-off dot, 1 a little bit further right from there, and 1 a little bit further up on the right side from that right face-off dot. All 4 of those are big slappers. So he's getting a cross-ice pass, and he's slapping it in, which is huge because we're not scoring a ton of goals from that right-hand side.
No.
I've only measured like 13 of our power play goals. I just didn't have the time to cross-reference them all. I will later, and I'm going to put that up on our YouTube channel later when I get all the numbers. So based off of where we were scoring in the 13 goals on the power play that I examined from last season, of the 13, let me get the number right, 11 on the left-hand side, and obviously 2 on the right-hand side. So Duke could give us something if we place him on that right-hand side.
Okay. So that would make sense. You know, lefty shot, that would be his one-timer side. I mean, the Islanders kind of, I think sometimes they try to do that with Brock Nelson, like set him up on that side.
That's right.
To fire one in. But I wouldn't necessarily say that Brock had the best of power play seasons last year, based off of memory. But he did have 9 power play goals. Okay.
Probably led the team as well.
Probably, but they were one of the worst power play. Oh, well, actually, I take that back. They were very good on the power play for a while, and then they regressed hard, and then ended up okay, middle of the pack. He probably did lead the team in power play goals. Now that I said it, no. Horvat and Palmieri both had 10.
Of course, Palmieri. That's a Spiz, right for Spiz right there. Remember that, right for him. So, but the thing is that he's not just sticking to a wing, right? They don't have him in that season for Florida in 21-22 just playing on either on the release position. They have him playing in the bumper spot, and so he's coasting a lot. But he's comfortable leading more left and fading more to the right, which gives us a bit of flexibility when it comes to playing him. Obviously, the bumper on PP1 is probably going to be Bo Horvat.
Yeah,
and
he does that well.
Right, 10 power play goals last year. Barzal is going to be the roamer on the left. You're going to have probably Brock Nelson on the right. Anders Lee down the middle. So I've just talked about 4 guys, and now you're going to have Noah Dobson up top. You know, quarterbacking the whole thing from the blue line. So there's your 5 on power play 1. Does Duclair step into that role on power play 1, do you think? In any of those positions?
Maybe not. Maybe he is a power play 2 guy. But you would think, like, we're assuming that Duclair is going to play on that top line with Barzal and Horvat. So you would assume that you put those 3 guys together on power play 1, but maybe you don't.
Unless you move, like you can, I'm sure people are saying, like, what about Anders Lee? He was garbage last year. Why would you put him on power play 1? He's probably the best net front presence in the league when he's, at his peak, which he isn't, but still, he's still pretty goddamn good. We've often referenced his individual expected goals number at 5-on-5. I can bring up his power play numbers in a second here. He's still a really good net front guy, in so much as just he's hard to move. Yeah. Even if he's not scoring, just being there and taking the eyes away from the keeper is a big advantage. But maybe you take out Brock Nelson and you put Duclair there, and you put Brock Nelson on power play number 2.
Could do that. Strengthens the second one a little bit.
Yeah. And I think that's really where it comes into Duclair's impact on this power play is going to be, it's another weapon that we've just added to this team for this power play.
Okay.
Instead of having to play like, God, who had the, if I, you know what, I'm just going to get it here. I'm going to pull our power play numbers in terms of ice time last year in the regular season to see what guy we're basically forcing out here. Forwards is all I care about. Sorry, give me a moment. Here is natural stature compiles all the information I'm looking for.
Probably going to be Pierre Engvall, but I'm curious to see what name we spit out here.
So total time on ice for forwards, we're not talking about defensemen, even though it's 2 guys. It's going to be Noah Dobson and Mike Riley, probably, right? Maybe Ryan Pollock. Either way. So you have top 5, Barzal in order, Horvat, Nelson, Palmieri, Lee. And then number 2 would be, that's 5 players. So I should only list 4 guys. Barzy, Horvat, Nelson, Palms. Top 4.
Okay.
So if you're forcing someone out, I don't know who it is there. That you've got Palms with 10 goals, Horvat with 10, Nelson with 9.
Well, Lee you're forcing out.
Right. But that's the thing. I've got 4 forwards, so you've got 1 defenseman. So you've got your 5 on the ice for power play 1.
Okay. My fault. I misunderstood. Okay.
Right. Sorry. If I'm just looking straight up at ice time.
Okay.
And then at number 4, on power play 2, the next 4 forwards, Lee, Pajot, Engvall, Wallstrom.
Oh.
Right. And it drops precipitously. It went from 105 total power play minutes last year in the regular season for Pierre Engvall to 27 for Oliver Wallstrom.
Yeah, that second power play unit is not giving you much juice.
No. And so now you've added someone who you're going to play all year on that power. Whether it's going to be Anthony Duclair or not, someone's bumping into that spot. You've added someone else. Now you're taking someone out, which is the experiment of Wallstrom, Sazika's 17 minutes of power play time, Bashing, Holmstrom, Clutterbuck at 4. We're getting into players who probably just stepped on the ice to chew up some time type of thing.
Just about.
Right. So you're just adding a guy who can score at least 5 power play goals, which you didn't really have before. The combination of Pajot, Engvall, and Wallstrom had 4 last year. If you like that, make sure to subscribe to Up the Turnpike on Patreon for more exclusive New York Islanders content.